Talking about another woman's infertility or fertility issues is the ultimate betrayal of sisterhood, motherhood, and girlhood in general. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones, and I wanted to have a conversation with you. I was watching this clip of Basketball Wives. It's not really a show I've watched. I've seen it on occasion many, many years ago. But there was like a clip that came across my page where it was Evelyn was talking to Tammy, and she was talking to Tammy about, like, I guess her and Shawnee had like a sidebar conversation about Tammy's inability to have children. I don't know whether it's true or not. It doesn't really matter that it's true or not. I think I was just so floored at the fact that, like, another woman felt like it was okay to talk about what's going on in another woman's body, one. And two, the fact that these women were going back and forth, she felt the need to air that publicly. Two, and then three, I think it's a betrayal where your friend feels so comfortable, even if that was an issue, but it's certainly a betrayal of friendship if your friend goes behind your back and talks about your fertility, and to again throw that back in your face at a time where it's not even relevant. And it's like, why would you try to do that? You're definitely trying to bring about psychological harm, right? And I just want to kind of have that conversation because there is such a thing, I think, or this just may be my thing that I'm creating, and I'm okay with that too, but I do think that there is such a thing as infertility betrayal, where people talk about, like, openly talk about, or are disrespectful to the process in which you're going through in terms of infertility, no matter, how it's caused or whatever the case may be, where another woman, another man, whomever, just feels the right to talk negatively about you, your experience, and what you're going through, or to you, right? Because I think that infertility betrayal can also be, it's weaponized against you as a form of psychological warfare, where it's like, you're not a woman. And I recently saw an interview with just a snippet of an interview with Candace Owens and Jason Lee, where he also brought that up. Well, some women aren't even women because they can't even have children, or something to that effect. And I think that's just so disrespectful. And I get the context. He was trying to argue it in terms of transgender and all this other kind of stuff. But I just think that that's something that you don't need to, that no one needs to speak on another woman's body's right to produce or inability to produce in a way to either shame or be derogative towards that woman or women in general. I think that is such a disrespectful thing that people have gotten so comfortable with doing, with families doing it, again, with partners doing it, friends, and other things like that. Like, that is, I think that's the ultimate betrayal. And, infertility, again, is already such a struggle for a lot of women out there internationally. And I think, just going through that alone, and it's so expensive, and there's all these other components to it, right? You may have to go through a number of specialists, you may have to have surgery, whatever the case may be. It's already a challenge for a lot of women, but to then have someone speak negatively on it, I think that pours salt on the wound. And there's, just for many women, just the fact to emotionally, like, deal with going through their infertility is one thing. And a lot of women suffer in silence, or they may share with their closest confidants. But it can be triggered. You could be triggered by other women having children. It could just, you can go into a deep depression. I know that there's women that go through fertility cycles and things of that nature, but I don't think it's ever okay to speak about that. And I think that is a form of psychological harm and psychological and emotional and or verbal abuse, depending on how it's used. And in both of these situations, I saw it used negatively with undercutting, cursing, and just undercutting women in general. And I didn't like it. And I just thought to myself, wow, when did we get to a place where people feel so comfortable talking about someone else's medical issue or challenges? Or when did we, and also talk about it in a way that's so negative? When do we get to a point where people feel so entitled to discuss what's going on with one woman's body and not see that as a problem? Like, I can't imagine if I heard a friend or a colleague or someone doing that, they would have to go immediately, dismiss them immediately. It's just not okay. And to all of the women out there whom this has happened to, where people have, sort of weaponized your infertility against you. And that, again, that could be a person, that could even be your job. For a lot of women, it could be your insurance company, your doctor, or something else of the like. It could be all these different systems that can weaponize infertility to women. And I'm speaking only to women because I know that there's other alternative couples that are trying to have children that are not biologically women. And this post is specifically for women who are biologically women. And no disrespect there, but I just think that this is the time that I want to take to talk to those types of women. And so, yeah, I thought that could be incredibly hurtful, and like, it just stings. And I think that people who do that intend to hurt you. I think, one, they're ignorant, and they're immature, but two or three, that they want it to sting, they want it to hurt, they want to cut you to the white meat, and they're not a safe person to be around.